Okay, now this is the final clip, and I would like to take advantage of this clip and merge it with the previous one, but take advantage and mention a few pragmatic points as well as some spiritual points, because these are really important for me. As far as the pragmatic points are concerned, with regards to our Higman Father's suggestion that we change the dates for the Feast of Nativity to fall on the 25th of December rather than the 7th of January and keep moving. Once again, I say it had never moved in the first place. We are still celebrating on the 25th of December, old style Julian calendar, but not the new style Gregorian calendar. So by using words like dates will return or will move back to the words that our Hegumen Father used is actually flawed, because they have never moved forward in the first place, or they never changed, because we have always celebrated the Feast of Nativity on the 25th of December, albeit being the 25th of December old style Julian calendar. Actually, the vernal equinox, as we said before, on the 21st of March is the 3rd of Baramhat. The 3rd of Baramhat will also keep moving, so there is no chance or no risk that the feast of Nativity or any other feast will fall during the Lent, as I have alluded to before in the previous clip. But talking about the pragmatic or practical issues, I will not even mention, because some people, some of you yourself, you or the other person or the next person may ask, what is the big deal in just deleting 13 days from the Coptic calendar in the 21st century in order to have a common good or a better outcome, which is unity with all the other churches. First of all, it's not unity with all the other churches, let's be clear. And secondly, this is not a very benefiting goal anyway, because the Coptic Church and her forefathers have actually done everything with their brains, with their minds. They were mindful of things that really prove how far-sighted they were. And it's no surprise, because all the other churches and all the historians keep talking about those forefathers and how their steadfastness and their ability to counter all the other heresies and all the tribulations and troubles that faced the church in those days, when she was all just one church, one Catholic universal church, stemmed from the Coptic forefathers' knowledge, and that's what God Himself orders us, is to offer Him. I can't claim to be to have learned the holy books or the Gospels or the epistles, but He actually orders us and instructs us to worship Him with the reasonable or the sensible sacrifice, the sacrifice of knowledge. I hope you know what I mean. I'm sorry, English is not my first language, once again, and that's why I am struggling a little bit with the terms and the expressions, but I am sure you know what I mean. So to do that, we have to actually work our minds and our brains. It is not just an arithmetic calculation or subtraction or addition. No, it is not. Let me point this out with one practical issue, but I will not be wasting my breath in it, because I've already alluded to that in the written response to our father, our Hegemon father, and repeat again that every 12th day of the Coptic month is dedicated for Archangel Michael. Every 21st day of the Coptic month is dedicated to Virgin Mary. Every 29th day of the Coptic month is dedicated to the Lord in a major lordly feast, which is the feast of the feast of Annunciation. So let us imagine together. Today is the 10th of Baba, as our Hegemon father suggested. The month of Baba does not have too many important dates, and I really refrain from commenting on unimportant dates or unimportant saints altogether, and say, if 10th of Baba is followed by the 24th of Baba, what will happen to those feasts, let alone Virgin Mary's feast and Archangel Michael's feast, but also what will happen on the day of the 10th of Baba itself? We know that we go to church for the liturgy, the Mass in the morning. We read either the Ajbeya prayers 3rd and 6th hour, or 3rd and 6th and 9th hour. Okay. What will happen in the rest of the day? We will go to church again for the Vespers prayers and Vespers praise. And in the Vespers praise, we read the Ajbeya prayers, the 11th hour and 12th hour. So what will happen? Will we be reading the 11th hour and 12th hour of which day? If we read these hours of the 10th of Baba, it means that we will be praising the saint of the 11th of Baba through the Vespers praise, aren't we? And then in midnight, after the Vespers prayers, we will find ourselves in midnight mentioning the saints of the 24th of Baba. How crazy is that? How crazy? Or shall we actually do the Vespers praises for the 24th, and then we don't have the 10th? The 10th is not fulfilled. The day had not finished, because our Coptic day actually starts from it's like the Jewish calendar day, which starts from the sundown of one day until the sundown of the next Western calendar day. So I will come nearer to the camera because of the voices behind me. I hope you can still hear me clearly. I will raise my voice just a little bit. Lawnmower is too loud. Anyway, that is not the only practical point. There is also another practical point. If we imagine that I or yourself, you or the next person have a very important occasion, maybe an exam, maybe a court case, maybe birth of a child, anything that is going to happen on the 15th of Baba, for example, somewhere between the 10th of Baba and the 24th, just arbitrary choice of dates. And this day is about 3-4 months, 6 months away, and we had dedicated this day for prayer and go to the Mass and pray to the saint of the day, and take all the paperwork and all the documents. And then I go to church, or you or the next person or whoever, and then we go to church and Mass starts, and alas, it is not actually the day of the saint that I had thought it would be. It's actually not the 15th of Baba anymore. It's actually the 28th of Baba. How crazy is that? And then I or yourself or the next person go to ask, what's happening? Why are we not celebrating the day of whosoever is celebrated on the day? And oh no, you haven't heard. Oh, this date was cancelled. How crazy is that? This is another pragmatic point or practical issue that we can never find an answer for, because we will fall in the same flaw that had happened with the Gregorian calendar adjustment.